how you doing? So I wanted to come and do a 1 year update of me being in therapy. I thought this would be really cool to do because, you know, there's other ladies out here, other individuals who may bump across this video. If you're new, hey, welcome. If you're not, thanks for coming back. And if you're new, join, hit subscribe, hit the button down below. But I wanted to come in and just kind of do like a 1 year update anniversary for myself for going through therapy. My generation that I'm in, I am 45 for those who don't know. Therapy is not a stranger to us. We don't mind, therapy, and all the generations behind, me, the millennials and all the good ones after, they don't mind things like therapy. But the generations before, like some of the baby boomers and, prior to that, it's like, especially in the Black community, it's like, what happens in the house stays in the house. And you tend to not get the help that you need. It's like it's shamed upon to share that you're struggling through something or something like that. It's like, just get through it. Like, brush your knees off, brush your shoulders off, put your big girl panties on and just go ahead and get through it. But sometimes it is just not that easy. Just being honest and being transparent. It's things that I deal with. If it's childhood trauma, if it's from relationships, it could be relationships with, romantic, it could be, family, anything, I'm just, sharing my piece, because I definitely do have childhood trauma that I deal with. I definitely have relationship trauma that I deal with, and issues that I deal with that just carry on, if it's romantic or if it's family wise, and I felt myself pretty much at a point where, how can I put this? I was like bumping into a wall. And you think, you're walking into a wall and you feel like you're getting better and you backing up away from the wall. I never turned around and put my back to the wall and walked away. So I felt like I just couldn't figure out how to just gather myself. So I said, you know what, Kelly, you need some therapy. So I decided to get therapy about a year ago when it was like so many different things in my life was just turning upside down. Now, the person on the outside looking in would never have known that I was going through anything because, again, you being poised, you being well put together, you knowing how to, nobody knows what's going on up in here. But also, I didn't want to do it because, again, you kind of remembering from what you heard, like you could take care of it on your own, you could do this, you could do that. If you don't hear it from parent, you hear it from family relatives, and you see how your family relatives handle their issues, and you be like, this shit is freaking nuts. Like, y'all know. But anywho, I had a lot of different issues and I needed to clean them up, and a lot of it stemmed from a lot like a childhood. I didn't grow up with my father. My parents divorced very early in my life, and I don't think that would have made any difference because that union needed to be split. But just looking back on it, but a lot of things, like a lot of daddy issues, sibling issues, relationship issues and stuff like that, and just hoping that I didn't pass any of that stuff on. But some things you just can't help sometimes, you just can't. So let me get into it, Kelly. So I went through therapy, and I'm not, you don't want to say fixed, but nothing goes away. You just figure out how to deal with it, how to cope with it, and not feel guilty about certain things, about decisions that you may have made. So I'm gonna give you an example. If I made a decision in my life to not deal with anybody anymore, it could be someone, a few people, or whatever it is, and I may have felt bad about it, now I know how to cope and be like, I don't care, I don't want to deal with you, I don't want to deal with you. I can deal with you when I see you, hey, but to deal with you on a regular basis, it just doesn't fit into my life. So, and that could be for friends, it could be for family, anything, co-workers. If it don't fit, it don't fit. Another thing is understanding that certain relationships that I may have been in that they went the way they went for a reason, you know. So don't feel like the next person that you meet is like, I'm cursed, what's happening to me, you know, stuff like that. You just understand that, you know, things happen the way they do, you know. You may have had your fault in the situation, they may have had their fault in the situation, but they happen the way they do, and when it split, it splits, and you know, universe has spoken. Family, you know, family is just like, look, I ain't dealing. But a lot of my stuff came and it stemmed from a lot of daddy issues, and I can safely, you know, admit that, and admit that confidently. You know, my father is definitely, you know, trying to weasel into my life. And I say weasel as in being funny, because I like to tell jokes, but you know, but I have some questions and stuff that, you know, I let him speak, I let him do his thing. But I always come to realize, and that's even with family, when people do you wrong and they want back into your life, they want you to forget about everything. But yet, because they've gotten over their piece. Let me say it that way. They gotten over their piece. They feel like, okay, well, if I've gotten over it, you should get over it. But not knowing, just because you gotten over yours, I don't have to get over mine. But they want you to get over it and be like, let's move on and be happy ever after, be happily ever after. But that's not the case, because there's still cuts, wounds, and scars. And all we doing at this point, you scraping that scar and you lifting it up. So yeah, that's a little bit of, I'm giving you pieces. I'm giving you pieces. But I've definitely come to realize, let's get into it, Kelly. I've come to realize that therapy has definitely helped me cope with certain things in my life. It helped me address things that I may not have wanted to address, things that I may not want to speak up on. I'm a very vocal person in general, but I have become a little bit more vocal because, shoot, I'm almost 50, so I'm not gonna sit here and keep my mouth shut. I don't care who you are. I'll put a disclaimer out there and tell y'all ain't gonna be disrespectful, but I'm gonna say what I have to say, because I ain't gonna leave this earth and like, oh God, I wish I would do this. No, I'm not doing it. And I found myself always pushing myself back for the next, or not doing for myself for the next. Now, if my children, that's different, you know, I'm gonna tend to them. But, and again, that comes with like being candid, relationships, you know. I'm not giving nobody else everything, you know. You gotta work, you know. And I felt like prior to, it was always pleasing, and you know, we ain't doing that. Let me get my bubbly. I did a makeup video prior to this, so you're gonna see this, and you're gonna see the same little thing, so we be getting them out. I had some work done, y'all. So for those of you who don't know, I just recently got a crown, my permanent crown put in, and it's still a little bit sensitive. I can talk now, but like something like drinking and eating, and I got an ibuprofen on. I have taken an ibuprofen, so I'm feeling okay. I'm feeling okay. But I've also learned to stay in the moment, and a lot of my depression and anxiety came from me always thinking too ahead in the future. And my depression came from me always staying in the past. You know, why this happened to me? Why am I going through this? Why me? You know, and then it's like, shit, well, why not? You know, life happens, you know. And I just sit here, I'm just thinking, I'm happy I went through therapy. I'm happy I'm continuing to go to therapy. When I first started out, I was a wreck. I was a freaking wreck, but nobody knew it. You know what I mean? When I had my first 5 therapy sessions, I cried the whole session damn near. Like, just getting things out, you know. My therapist was like, get it out. Once you get it out, then we can address those. We're gonna put them all in a spot. We're gonna put them all on the spot. We're gonna pretend we got a board, and you throwing your problems onto the board. The board is like a Velcro situation. So the stick, the balls, we just throwing them up there, and we're gonna pull them down, and we're gonna address them. Some we can't take down, some we can, but we're gonna learn how to get through this. And he taught me different breathing techniques, because my anxiety had got to the point where I would have to get in the bed, literally, and just get in fetal position and just rock out. And rock out meaning however that may be. If it was to cry, if it was to go to sleep, if it was to just be in that moment thinking about what I was thinking about, I had to just do it. And it was rough. It was really, really rough, right? But I am so grateful. I am so grateful I went through therapy. I'm so grateful I'm continuing to go through therapy, because now I can sit back and I can see my growth in a year. And I can still see where, you know, there's things that I still need to, you know, work on. Because again, this is 40. I went to therapy when I was 44, almost 45. So this is 44 years, pretty much, of all these things I bottled up that I wasn't letting out. And I finally let it out. And that doesn't happen in a year. I can definitely feel like, okay, I'm above water. You know, I can feel like, okay, I'm like this. But sometimes I do go under. Sometimes I'm human. You know, I'm not using it as an excuse. But, you know, sometimes I do feel like I go under a little bit. But I know how to come back up. And I'm just zoned out. I'm just thinking about it so I can kind of give it to you. I recommend, if you're feeling, I know sometimes people, you know, kind of get nervous, think, oh, if I go to therapy, I'm crazy, I'm a psycho, I must be this. No, it does not mean you psycho. This means you're just overwhelmed. You know, you just want to figure out an outlet, get it out. Sometimes you can't talk to your friends. Sometimes you can't talk to people in your family. You can't. You know what I mean? And now at this point, I don't care who sees the video, because I know some of my family members do watch my videos and friends that watch my videos. I don't care at this point, because I have taken that step to take care of what I need to take care of. And I'm at a point like, I don't give a F. I'm not gonna say the word, you know, we on camera. I try to be very mindful of the, you know, the internet. But I don't care anymore. You know, if I don't want to be bothered with you, I don't want to be bothered with you. You know, I have friends that if I don't talk to you every day, it's okay. When we do talk, it's like we never left. That's the kind of friends that I want to remain in my life. I don't want the friend that's gonna be like, girl, I ain't told you what's going on. Well, you gotta talk. I don't got time for her or him. I don't, you know, I don't have a problem with talking to people every day on the phone. You know, it's okay. But I used to feel like if I don't talk to certain people, it was like I wasn't being a good friend. I'm not being a good friend if I talk to you every day, knowing that I have a thing that I have going on in my life, and I need not to be on the phone. Not that the person is keeping me on the phone. I might even call the person. But I've come to realize I can't help nobody if I don't help myself. And that goes for my children as well. And loved ones. If I can't help, if I can't do for myself, I can't do for you. So if I'm sitting here in a disarray, my mind is all tangled up in thoughts and things and whatnot, and I'm just going through it. How can I be there for you? I can't. I can only pray for you and make sure that God holds your hand and he guides you through whatever you're going through. Because guess what? I'm going through something too. And not only that, what I also learned about being in, you know, me being in therapy is that it's okay to not be there for people. It's okay. You know, before I said, oh, I gotta do it. Oh, I gotta do it. Look, this is how this show and this ship is going to go. This ship is going to sail this way, and the shows on this ship are going to start on this time. Either you down or you ain't. If you ain't, oh well. It goes to everybody. Because guess what? I tend to realize that the people that I tend to, besides, you know, just people in general, if it's family, friends, they live their life and they're still living their life. Thank God, right? I'm only 45. it's things that I have not done yet that I want to do. I'm a very settled person, FYI. I'm not a busybody. I do go out, you know, I'll show y'all when I do hang out a little bit, but it don't be nothing like that crazy, you know. Back in the day, I used to cancel plans, and I still do. That's just me. Whoever don't like it, don't like it. Oh well, I cancel. I don't want to go. And it's okay to say I don't want to go. I've come to realize that I'm not, and that's what I used to do, and therapy made me realize I used to transform myself, my world, to other people, but didn't care about my own. So now it's all about Kelly's world. I want to live my life. That's why I'm freaking miserable. That's why I'm depressed. That's why my anxiety is through the roof, because I'm like thinking about, well, damn, I'm almost at this point in my life I haven't done, and not necessarily I need to do certain things, but I wanted to just make sure that I can sit back and say I had a fulfilled life. Right. So I was dealing with that too, and my therapist, and I was nervous when I found my therapist, because I was seeking a therapist during the pandemic, and it was like nobody was available. It's like, you know, everybody was going through something during the pandemic. You know, we still going through stuff, and it was like I felt like the pandemic heightened my anxiety and my depression, because I've had it for years, but I was more of a functional individual who dealt with it, and I may have talked to 1 or 2 of my girlfriends. And it got to the point where it was like, look, you can't put this on your friends. You need resolution. So I was like, Kelly, you gotta find your therapist. I was looking for a therapist. And you know, it was more so, oh, I wanted a black person. I wanted an African American. I wanted a woman, you know. And I couldn't find it. And when I did find it, she couldn't help me because she was more of a psychotherapist. You know, she was giving out prescriptions for narcotics and, well, not narcotics, I guess like other medicine. And she was like, your evaluation doesn't call for that. So I couldn't get her. But it was somebody in her practice that she did refer me to. And I was like, and it was a white man. And I was like, oh God, I don't want this. I don't want this. But I am still with this lovely white man. He helped me through this process. And what I really like about him is the fact that he didn't see black or white. And I'm not saying he saw, oh, she's just a number, she's a client, she's a patient. The way I felt is that the fact that he saw an individual who, the way he handled me was he saw a woman who was depressed, who was overwhelmed with anxiety. And he heard me out, and he saw all the issues and all the pain that I was dealing with from young to adult, and how I carried so much on my shoulders, and how I worried about others but didn't worry about myself. And he said, we're gonna get through this. I'm gonna get you through this hump. Now, was I resistant in the beginning? Because I was like, you know what? He ain't gonna help me. Because I was looking at it like, oh, he doesn't know what I go through as a black woman. But it didn't even matter. He addressed the issue. And then he addressed it from me being a black woman. And it was just so refreshing. And it's like making me get watery eyes because, oof. Let's pause. Okay. It was a beautiful feeling because it just made me realize that everybody's not the same, you know? And even though he was a clinical, even though he is a clinical therapist, he just saw me for me, and he really helped me. And then I'm going to show you how I keep my notes. So let me just get into that now. But bottom line, do I recommend therapy? Yes. Am I happy I went through therapy? I was going once a week for about maybe 4 to 6 months. And then I scaled down to once a week. No, wait. I was going once a week, about 4 to 6 months. I want to say about 5 to 6 months. I can't remember when I kind of cut off. There was sometimes where I was going once every other week, every 2 weeks. And then I kind of like called up and got an appointment. I was like overwhelmed. And he would let me vent on those. And then there was sometimes we would do exercises. We would talk. You know, we would spend like the first 30 minutes on just talking. The next 30 minutes it would be doing exercises, things like that, just kind of getting things out and learning how to process certain things. And that's what I appreciated. But this is the book, and I bought the book off of Amazon. He told me to get the book. I went and got the book. I wish I would have went and got the audio as well. But it was Get Out of Your Mind and Into Your Life, and it's by Stephen C. Hayes, PhD. This is the book, and I tell you, I was very resistant. I have another book. It's over here somewhere, my other book. But I started going into writing on legal pads now when I'm doing my exercising my books. I'll just leave this book inside here for like note taking and things like that. I mean, it's personal stuff on here, but it's mine. It's mine. And I have a regular regular journal book. Excuse me. I have a regular journal book, spiral notebook, and I'll just write and I'll journal in there. But I kind of got away from journaling to that capacity because I'm just pretty much writing it on here. And I keep this together. I used to have a little rubber band, like a little thing around it, like a little thing to kind of keep it together. I was like, you know what? I'm just writing thoughts. I'm just writing thoughts. And I do have a new planner that has a lot of pages in the back. So I had to change. I had to stop the camera, started again, was getting ready to go off. So like I was saying, I do have my new planner. So in the back of my planner, if I feel like I need to write something, then I will just jot in the back and just write maybe a couple of lines, something like that, just to kind of get it off my chest. I don't keep a notebook anymore of things like that. And if I do write things in my notes in my phone, if I'm on the go, sometimes things come in my head and I just write it down in my phone. Then I'll transfer it later over into my planner because I've come to realize I finally found a planner that I like. It's crazy. And you guys, for those who've been following me, you guys know I've been through several planners, some Target ones, things that I bought online, but I finally found one that I really, really like. So I want to be able to not only have my day, but I still want to have notes in the back to kind of reflect everything in the shell, how I maneuvered my day, how I planned my day, and then how my day went as regarding to like just journaling. And I'm going to do a video, I am going to do a video later on talking about how I do my gratitude and how I do my devotionals, because that definitely helped me as well. In addition to, it still helped me, so I'm not going to say like I'm all cured or nothing like that. In addition to that, I haven't done it yet, but I've definitely inquired. I'm going to start doing hot yoga. I used to do Pilates, and I think I might go back to that. In addition to, because it definitely helps the core, and I like that look on my body. I like just look more like lean, you know. I'm not more so, I have a mesomorph body type. If you don't know what that is, that's more like a more athletic build. I'm not athletic built by any means, but I just have that shoulder structure, you know. You see, I'm very boxy, if that makes any sense. That's what the mesomorph is, very boxy. Yeah, this is my 1 year. I just want to kind of give you a spill, you know. I do take a lot of alone time. I do like to sit alone. I do that on my porch. I'm definitely going to get my back porch screened in. If I don't get this home screened in, wherever I choose to live, you know, because I'm definitely thinking about selling my home for those of you who are new. And if you are new, go ahead and subscribe. Hang out with your girl. But I do have a lot of alone time. If it's me just relaxing on my porch, if it's me spending a long time in my front room, you know, or in my room, however I choose to do, I do enjoy alone time. Alone time is super important to me because before I didn't have any boundaries, and even meaning boundaries with my children. You know, I need time. I gotta recharge. I got to, you know, I weigh out too. Tired is tired. You could be 2 and tired. You can be 100 and tired. Tired is tired. I need some alone time. I need to rest. I need to get regrouped, especially when, you know, the pandemic, you're home all day with the same individuals. You tend to be like, so you have to have that breakaway, you know. And I would always sit back and wonder, if the pandemic would have never happened, would I have thought about therapy? I always wonder about that, because the pandemic definitely pushed me. It pushed me because the pandemic opened my eyes to so many other things that, you know, you take for granted, you know. So I'm definitely grateful that I went to therapy. I will continue my therapy. I will continue my therapy. I will continue with my lovely therapist. I'm appreciative of him. I know I give him some pushback if he watches. He does watch my channel. And I give him pushback on this book, because this book it's like it opens wounds. It does. It does. It opens wounds. So yeah. But sometimes you have to, you know, go through these different things to get past, or at least learn how to deal and cope with it. Because sometimes you could be sitting in your room, sitting down, and then that thought just come through your head. You could be with your friends having a good time, kikiing it, having this fun, and then this freaking wave just come through and you're like, why did this pop up right now? Now you're sitting there and you daydreaming because you gotta process this thought, and then you snap out of it and you're like back to what you was doing. You know, I don't want that. I don't want that. But he has helped me learn how to stay present. It's hard, but to stay present, stay mindful, practice mindfulness. And if the past does come in, anxiety does set in, let it come. Let it come, because it doesn't last forever. Think of it as a storm. And that's something that I do. So I just gave you guys some therapy. So that is it, y'all. Therapy is the best. I only go every 2 weeks now, so I only go twice a month. And I thought about cranking it up a little bit, just for some other little issues, because, you know, my anxiety kind of kicked in with this whole house thing. But now, since I'm not doing the house thing anymore, I'm gonna see. I'm gonna kind of gauge it and kind of evaluate myself for about 2 weeks. And I told you guys 2 weeks I was, you know, not doing anything house related. Well, looking for a house and things like that. So yeah, I might kick it back up. If not, I'm gonna keep it at my every Tuesday. I don't think I would ever go to once a month, because I be needing, you know, to vent. Sometimes, you know, you have things going on at work, you got things going everywhere, and you just need to vent. But therapy is definitely a good thing. And if you have insurance, or if you don't have insurance, and you can definitely splurge, think about it as a luxury. You know, nowadays, you know, you need cell phones. Cell phones can be cheaper than having a house phone. But think as it, you know, just as you go out and, you know, like I go get a haircut, you know, I get my nails done. That is a part of my self-care. Therapy. That's a fixed expense in my budget. I make sure I allocate my co-pays for my therapy, because I ain't playing. It's part of my self-care. It's part of my self-care. But that's it, y'all. I don't want to keep on drawing. I hope I just kind of gave you a little piece of, you know, a piece of my world, piece of what I may have been through. You know, I know I'm not alone, and if I am, it's okay. And that therapy has definitely helped me, and just to show that, you know, I may have been going through so much, and no one would never have known what I was going through, but I was able to go get through it and still getting through it, and now I'm able to talk about it, and I'm aware of, you know, my issues, you know, what I may have caused myself, in addition to what I allow other people to cause me, and what I'm not tolerating anymore. Again, Keli's world. Keli's world. So I want to say thank you for hanging out with me. And you know, if you have anything you want to chime in down below, go ahead, chime in. I know this video was kind of long, but I haven't done any sit down videos in such a long time. I thought, you know what, let me get some in. So if you have any therapy things that you want to share, if you know, it's you know, say friendly down below. You don't got to expose everything, but you know, if you just want to share, maybe you've been through therapy and how it may have helped you and what you recommended, or if you haven't had, even if you had a bad experience, you know, share that as well. Or if you may have thought like me, you may have want a black therapist but you couldn't get one and you got something else, you know. I feel like my story was kind of unique because I really wanted a black therapist and I didn't get it, and now I don't have any regrets because he's good to me and I'm thankful. I am. So hey to all my new subscribers, hey to all my loyals, thanks for hanging out. Catch my next video. Don't forget to leave it down below. See you in the next video.